Hi there. In this question, we're going through question 2, which is a statistics question from the November 2024 paper 2 exam. Okay, let's get straight into it. Here we're looking at an cumulative frequency graph, also known as an ogive or ogive, depends on how you like to pronounce it. And it shows the time taken in minutes for 60 employees to travel to work each morning. So in question 2.1, they ask us to estimate the median travel time. So the median travel time will be based on the median value for the 60 employees. So 60, half of that will be 30, so we need to follow the value at 30. So if 30 is over there, let's pick a different color, maybe it's magenta. And let me use my ruler. So following that value from too low, shift it up, there we go. So following that value from 30, we see that this line cuts our ogive at, let's rotate it so we can follow where it's cutting exactly. Seems like it's halfway, so it's from there going down. And that value looks like 70 is here. So that looks like it's about 65. It looks halfway in between 60 and 70. So we can assume that it's 65 minutes. That would be our median. So the solution for 2.1, the median will be equal to 65 minutes. Okay, let's move on to 2.2. Here they want us to estimate the lower quartile. So we have to recall the equation. Lower quartile is equals to a quarter n plus 1. And for us, this will be, we know the total number is 60 plus 1. This is equal to, we do a calculation, 60 plus 1. So we're looking at the time taken by 15,25 employees. So let's come back to our graph. We can use a different color this time, this bright green. 15,25 is just slightly above 15. So we can just take 15 as it is. And it's somewhere over there. And rotating our ruler so we can see what value our graph cuts there. It's looking like, let's see, over here, let's remove the ruler. This is 50. I think I drew my vertical line at the wrong spot. Let's try that again. It should be there. Yes, and that's looking better. And each block looks like it represents 2 minutes. So if this is 2, that means the next is 4. So that means we are looking at an answer of 44 minutes. So therefore, the answer will be Q1 is equals to 44 minutes. Okay, let's move on to 2.3. We are told we need to estimate the interquartile range. So the interquartile range, which we call IQR, is equal to Q3 minus Q1. So we already have Q1, we need to calculate Q3. So the upper quartile is given by 3 over 4 n plus 1. 3 over 4, 60 plus 1. And here we get a solution of 45,75 employees. So this is the position. Now we need to get the actual value, the minutes that it takes these employees. Let's pick a different color. We can go for like a bright purple. So we are looking for where 45,75 employees would be. Let's rotate. Okay, so 45, right? Yes. I don't know why I'm so distracted. Okay, so it's basically nearly 41, but not exactly. My ruler, I'm trying to make it straight. There we go. Drawing our horizontal line, and then drawing our vertical line to see if we are at 45,75, how many minutes will that take? Drawing our vertical line downwards. This also looks like it is 84. My ruler was slightly bent. So here our answer will be 84 minutes. Okay, nice. So now that we have our values, we can finally calculate our IQR. So this will be equal to 84 minus our Q1, which we found to be 44, which is equal to 40 minutes. Okay, nice. Let's now move on to 2.4. So here we're told the minimum and maximum times taken for an employee to travel to work are 5 and 120 respectively. And we need to draw a box and whisker diagram to indicate the distribution of the data as represented in the ogive. Okay, so let's first draw our number line. Are we using inches now? No. I think I'll place the number line here. And I'll make each centimeter represent a scale of 10 minutes. So indicating there. Let's use different color. We can use that blue, slightly lighter blue. Just making our marks. I have to draw the box and whisker diagram by hand because I don't have the graph. Okay, so this will be, I think I can remove the ruler, go back to our colors. So this is 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, and 120. Okay, now we can put our points. So we were given the minimum and maximum, that's 5 and 120. What color? Let's go for this greenish blue. Okay, so starting at 5, that's halfway. So I think I can put my dot up here. And then the highest value, our maximum, is 120, so there. Now let's put our lower quartile, it's 44, and our upper is 84. So 44 is slightly one less there, and 84 is going to be somewhere there. And then our median is 65. That's exactly in the middle, so that's there. So now I can just join all the dots and make our box and whisker. So I'm going to need the ruler again. So top line, the bottom line. Then let's draw the whiskers. Okay, they are too low. Okay, nice. Now the vertical lines. Okay, again, that's too off. Getting it straight is kind of tricky. I think my dots are too big. Here we go, and the last one. Why do I have to be a perfectionist? There we go. And that is our box and whisker diagram. Now we just need to indicate the values. So here, this is at 5. This is at 44. This is 65. This is 84. And lastly, the 120 is just 120. And that is our box and whisker diagram. Easy, right? 2.5. Okay, in 2.5, they asked, the company decided that all employees who travel for an hour or more will be allowed to work from home for part of the day. What percentage of the employees will be allowed to work from home for part of the day? So if they work for more than 60 minutes. So here we're going to highlight. And people who work for more than 60 minutes start from this part of the graph going up. I don't know if you guys can see that. Maybe I can pick a red because I know that will definitely stand out. There. So those are the number of people who travel for more than 60 minutes. And we see that's from 60 till just above 25, so somewhere here, which appears to be 26. So the number of people, so number of employees who travel for more than 60 minutes is equal to, well, let's do it here. It would be our 60 minus that 26, which gives us an answer of 34 people. Okay, so now we have our value. We just need to calculate the percentage that qualify for this. So that percentage will be of employees. So it would be this 34 divided by the total, which is 60, and then we multiply by 100. And we get an answer of 56.67% of the employees. Okay, let's move on now to the last question, question 2.6. And here they want, Well, they tell us that employees work 8 hours in a normal working day. The manager decided on the following rule for time to work from home. An employee is allowed to work half an hour, which is 30 minutes, for each time interval of 20 minutes or part thereof above an hour taken to travel to work. On a certain day, an employee takes 110 minutes to travel to work. We need to calculate the number of minutes that this employee will be allowed to work from home on this day. So the manager said that for every 20 minutes that they are above an hour, or even just part of that, they get 30 minutes of work. So we then need to see how many extra 20-minute intervals were taken from 60 for you to reach 110. So that would be 110 minus 60, which gives you an answer of 50-minute difference. So this is the difference in time. And according to what the manager said, each interval is 20, right? Or even part of it. So as long as you are slightly above 20 or slightly below. I'm trying to change my pen. My highlighter color. There we go. Or part thereof. So even if you don't reach the full 20 minutes, it still forms part of that. You still awarded that 30 minutes. So for us to then get the total number of intervals, we can just divide the difference. So 50 minutes divided by 20, that gives us an answer of 2.5 intervals. And according to the rule, it's part thereof. So that means you still do get a whole 30 minutes allocated. So that means we can round off this to just 3 intervals of 20 minutes that are above the 60-minute rule. So if you've got 3 intervals, it means that each interval you get awarded 30 minutes. So to calculate the time were allowed to work from home, this will then be equal to your 3 intervals multiplied by the 30 minutes for each interval. And that gives you an answer of 90 minutes, which we can then convert to 1.5 hours. And that's it for question 2.6.